Welcome to Daddy Issues.
Push nice and hard. You know, if your wrist is wore out by the time you get done doing this, you did something right.
This dungeon is gorgeous.
Hello and welcome.
A redhead will stuff you in her trunk and hang you on her wall and fuck you for days. Just saying. It's good times.
I go full trailer park.
Let's go back to the hose.
That's weird.
Ooh, gimme.
Because
Was that hot?
Pardon me.
Dude, okay over there?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, their sticks are so far up their asses, it's like they're fucking puppets, and you're just...
Oh, fuck. I can't believe you've done this.
Would you be comfortable sharing with us the name of the hotel you stayed in last night?
Well, look who skipped their meds today. And then it was just like, I should drink less.
Hello.
Hello, my darling.
Hi, how are you?
I'm better now that I see your face, honestly. I love you. I love you, Goober. I fucking love you. So, impromptu recording of Daddy Issues, because sometimes you just have to have a little bit more.
Honestly, clearly I'm not on my laptop yet, but we had so much shit that we came across today that we were like, fuck it, we should just record. We just need to record. This is too much.
Over in the past, the past 2 or 3 days, like, too much shit has accrued for us to, like, wait. And because what will happen is all of our energy about this may dissipate some, and that's no fun. So
like by the time we released the episode, it would have been way later when we talk about it again. So.
Right, like this will probably come out earlier than some of our others because those are full and in charge episodes. But we've got important topics. I wrote them down, and then we have because let's just talk about. Okay, first of all...
Wait, do I get to, at some point, bitch about the selfie woman? Because, fuck you, lady.
Please. Did you see my comment about that?
Yeah.
We're gonna get into that. It's actually one of the notes I wrote. One of the few notes I wrote. But we're gonna start with something I never fucking thought I was gonna have to say. We kind of chatted about this yesterday, and I'm gonna open with the message that opened a wound, because I saved it, and if you want to check it out for yourself, it's posted on my Instagram at ShadeQueen2019. If you haven't the pleasure already of seeing the disaster that is my Instagram.
I like your Instagram.
I like it too. It's like home. Yeah, but like I was reading through my messages. Sometimes I do that just when I'm bored. And one specific one stood out to me yesterday. Where is it? I sent it to you, huh?
Yes, you did.
I did. But
I think you sent it to me via Instagram chat, not like Facebook or.
That's the issue.
Else.
I'm not finding you. Aha! Here it is. If you ever have issues finding anything, guys, just give it to your wife. She'll have it. Just like either you send it via text, you can send it in the mail, whatever. If you put it somewhere in the house and just tell her it's there, she'll know. Okay, so that stands today. Anyway, this guy who I had sent a request to his account. I do this periodically for kink accounts. Now, for kink accounts on Instagram, because we are so easily ostracized, one of the issues I personally have run into is a lot of them are private accounts because they get flagged so often by people who really are not into the content. So they look
and plus you've got, vanilla concerns. People don't want their
Right.
identity's really known. And,
Correct.
You know, because you can lose your job over shit like that, you know?
Yes, because it's very misunderstood. You know, people who are vanilla sometimes associate kink with you're disturbed or something is wrong with you, or you know. So there's a reason people conceal that. But the other
And
reason,
yet they still let the Catholics practice out in the open.
you're like, come on. Yeah, we've talked about that recently too. Okay, so this is a question. You know, when you're screening people for your Instagram account, you're looking for like-minded individuals. And I'm putting that out there for a reason, because there was a little bit of pushback on this post initially, and I actually will tell you kind of how I justified it. And it ended up working in my favor because it was just fucking true. But this was the message, and it said, questions. First, how old are you? I told them. Are you into kink? Duh. Do you report not safe for work material? I don't agree with it. If you have a problem with my shit, just scroll on or like block me. You know, this way it doesn't affect my account, you know? So
I mean, or you could just like not be scrolling through Instagram while you're at work. If you're worried about it.
Oh, yeah, no, that's
that.
beside the point. That's like, we're past that. You know, obviously your work productivity died like the Oregon Trail, okay? So,
Yeah, died of dysentery.
but here's the question that pissed me off. Lastly, do you support minors in kink? Okay.
This is a big subject.
Yeah, it's
This
huge.
is a really big subject because he could have meant it in one of two ways.
Right.
He could have meant it in the way that he's a freaking disgusting pedophile and should be shot in the face, or it's someone that actually is underage that has gotten blocked and flagged. Like, because I know personally, like with my Legion After Dark account, when I first started it, it was just for the podcast. You know, I wasn't doming yet professionally. And I had one of my followers message me and say, hey, this person that's following you is like 15. And I saw I had to go and block them. So I routinely have to go through and check my followers to see, because it is not acceptable for minors to be in any way involved in the BDSM scene. However, BDSM, like, urges tend to start when puberty hits, you know?
Yeah, but that doesn't mean it
those-
should be endorsed either.
No, it shouldn't be endorsed. It shouldn't be endorsed at all. But it's as a natural thing. I mean, that's just like, you know, sex as a minor in general.
Yeah.
No, it shouldn't be endorsed. It shouldn't be a part of the community. And it's not, which is why you get a lot of these teenagers making these accounts and trying to seek it out on their own without being found out. And if that is the case for any of our listeners, get the fuck off of our Instagram.
Yeah.
If you are under 18, no. However, there are places for you. There's a website called scarletteen.com that is just for educating teenagers with that, with those, you know, with those proclivities.
Right.
And teaching them how to navigate it safely.
Right.
Which is, you know, just as important as any other kind of sex education. But the fact that this guy asked you in a message, like, okay, it's the question itself that bothers me.
Right.
Do you support minors in kink? No.
No.
No fucking body does.
No, and
They don't
actually,
need to be here.
yeah, my I actually did respond. My response was really clear. I was like, no, I gave him the other information he asked for, not that he deserved it. And I said, and no, I do not support minors in kink. Quite frankly, anyone who does can simply block me, because aside from my own personal reasons against this, I don't feel like that's okay. Period.
No,
I feel like it's
not.
too easy to corrupt someone as it is. And you can do that to an adult. So, you know, to put a minor in an environment like that, the basis of kink, and I actually said this in my response, is safe, sane, and consensual. You can't give consent. So right there, you're fucking blowing it to shreds. There is no actual... Now you're in danger. This is now what
Yeah.
started as an interest has become prey and predatory behavior. And
That's exactly what I was going to say. It's just predatory.
It is. And here's the problem I had. This person, when I said, no, I don't support it, did not accept my friend request. Okay, so that's number one. I'm bringing that up on purpose. Number two, someone said, and because I did put up this post, and you can read this comment, I didn't delete it. They said, I believe he was asking to make sure you too don't support minors in kink. And this is what I said to that, because that's a justifiable comment. I was like, I'm going to answer that. Here's where I'm at. Sorry, I'm getting in that reverb. That distinction shouldn't have to be made. I get messages all the time, and the ones who ask for things like that are screening, or not even things like that, but just when they ask specific questions, they're screening to find out who is like-minded to push through and accept as essentially like a viewer, a free viewer, but a viewer. And I said,
I've literally never,
ever,
in all my years,
thank you,
well over 20 years, had somebody ask me that to, in any capacity.
Right.
The only time I've encountered somebody like that was when I worked at a studio in Dallas, and a customer came in and hired a private room with me, and asked, can I bring a younger person in here, a minor in here? And my response was to pepper spray him.
Yeah.
And throw his clothes at him and have him escorted off the premises.
Yeah.
Like, that is the only time. I have never encountered somebody within the scene that was like, oh, by the way, do you support this? Because I'm not cool with it. I just want to make sure you're not cool with it.
Right.
No fucking body's cool with it.
Right. Exactly. Thank you. Okay. So now that, and when I gave her that response, she was like, that makes more sense. because it does. Okay, first of all, let me explain something to you. Kink doesn't mean disturbed. It doesn't mean that we're pedophiles. It does not mean that we are sadistic motherfuckers that are just gonna go and prey upon people. That's not what this is. It's the opposite of that. And if you're not old enough to give consent, there's a reason for that. Developmentally, you ain't ready. Secondly, BDSM is a bigger commitment than a relationship or fucking, okay? It's a whole different deal. It's a really big fucking deal.
And it's stupid because you don't even have the emotional capacity to grasp just
what's going on.
Regular vanilla sex shit.
Right.
Let alone the mind game. Because BDSM, I'm sorry, I've said this before. I will say it again. I'll say it a million times over. Like, at least 60 to 70% of all kink is mind games. It is all psychological. It is in the head.
Yep.
Yeah, we do the pain and stuff like that, but you don't just, like, it's not like a guy comes over and brings you flowers for a date and they're like, hey, what's up? And you're like, hey, it's good to see you. And then you just beat them.
No.
That's not how it works at all. So you cannot fuck with this sort of thing when you're that age. You've got to develop the maturity. And I'm not speaking as somebody that I discovered that I was into kink myself personally when I was a minor.
Right,
and
me too.
I did fucking everything wrong. I made a lot of mistakes because there were not these resources that they have that they have now. And it's, for some reason, has blown up now. Like, back then, it was like I was the only one, literally.
Yeah.
Now, my daughter, who is a teenager, she talks to me about this. She's like, oh, yeah, like, these teenage boys, and I'm not talking about like 18, 19-year-olds.
Like 14, 15.
Yeah, they're sending her, like, messages. They're like, oh, I've got, like, 10 different kinks and all this stuff. It's no. Okay?
Yeah.
No, you don't belong here.
Yeah, I actually went into a rant about it, and I had a really good response. I was thankful that I had the response I got, by the way. I said, this is not acceptable. Minors cannot give consent, therefore they have no place in BDSM or kink whatsoever. There's no exception to this rule. Consent is the basis of BDSM, safe, consensual, and sane. It is not safe to involve a minor. They cannot offer the consent that is required. As dominants, we ask for consent. If you're underage, you can't give it, which makes it predatory. Not okay ever. So if you find yourself involving minors in your fetishes or kink, block me now. Because if I ever found out, and this is true, I'd report you, and not to the police, to the authorities.
And I think any self-respecting dom would.
Yes. And to any minor reading this, I said this to minors. I was like, to any minor reading this, your body and mind are not up for an opportunistic sicko to take advantage of. Age play is not the same as using a minor.
No, it's not. It is very, very fucking different.
Yeah, it is.
You know,
people who are into age play are not into their daughters. You know what I'm saying? It's fucking different. It's fucking different.
That's the thing a lot of people don't get about age play.
We should talk about that.
They're not into little kids.
No.
They're into adult grown women or men who dress and act like they're in an age
It's like a doll. It's seriously, I almost conceptualize
like a doll.
Yeah, like if you were playing with a Barbie, like you're not going to look like Barbie at the end of the play session, but you like playing with Barbie. Like, it's a fantasy. Now, I bring up age place, and I brought it up in that post specifically because some people could turn around and be like, well, a daddy dom is really just somebody that's really a pedophile in disguise. No, they're not. No, they're fucking not. It's not at all like that.
No. They're into adults.
Right. And in fact, it's like I said, I started asking all the dominants I knew. I mean, no offense, you weren't the only person I hit up on this one. Because I was like...
Fine. No, I'm just kidding.
No, like, I was literally sitting there like, this has never been a question in 15 years I've ever had to answer. And I'm kinky. Like, this is a huge part of who I am and who I've been for a long time. I just haven't always been out about it. And I'm sure we have listeners who are not out about it for the reasons we discussed earlier, be it job, family, whatever. Yeah, dude, you can be in the dark with us. Fine. Come play with me. Yeah. But here, you better be of age. God damn it. This is not okay.
And especially like as a femdom that is, I'm 40 years old.
Yeah.
Once you get to my age as a femdom, you start getting those university students and stuff that hit you up, and you have to quadruple check their fucking age. Make them send you verification, some sort of ID, something, because they've got a thing for what they see as older women and being dominated by a harsh mistress and stuff like that. Make sure.
Yeah, I'm not going to jail because you're kinky. I'm not. Like, that's
I'm not interested in playing with you.
Well, no, that's the other thing. Like, I felt like that went without saying. It's like, we clearly think that any sort of, and this is important to take away from our show, we don't agree with minors in any form, be it predatory or otherwise, when it's involved in sex. We don't support it. We don't. Because there are too many layers to sex. Forget kink. Sex will fuck with your mind. I know, because I had sex as a teenager, and I'm here to tell you I made some shitty decisions.
Oh, God. If I had done... Okay, this is what I teach my children, because it's what I wish I would have done. Yeah, you're horny because you're hitting puberty, or you're in the midst, in the throes of puberty. I get that.
Hormones.
But realistically, if you just back off of it and take the time to focus on finding yourself and who you are, then all that shit will come later. You do not need to especially try to, like, infiltrate into kink groups and stuff like that. You don't belong here. You are not mature enough. I don't care if that creepy ass guy at the gas station told you that you're really mature for your age. You're not. You're fucking
Here's
not.
the thing. It's not about how you look. It's not about how good your grades are. It's not about you being a good person. It's not even about you acting like above your age. Okay? Developmentally, you can't fight time. Okay? Your brain is still developing. And the choices you're making now, you won't make in 5 years. I promise you, you won't. Because I was really mature for my age, and each fucking year that passed, I'd turn around and go, holy shit, what the fuck was I thinking? And I was responsible. I really was. Like, there wasn't a laundry list of things that I did wrong, but I can tell you, getting involved in kink as a minor, I've done it. Okay? I'm here to tell you, it can fucking cause more damage. You are more likely to end up... First of all, no dom is a predator. No real true dom is a predator. A predator's a predator.
And before you guys even say anything, we know we are not okay with the one true way or true.
Yeah.
But you know what we mean by that.
Right.
Like, if you are a dominant, that you are not, you're looking to find a muse, or find the other side of the coin.
Yeah,
that
your counterpart.
Puzzle piece.
Yep.
That is what you're looking for. You are not looking just to fuck somebody over.
Right.
And you're not looking to manipulate someone, because when you find, like, dominants and submissives they're a perfect match, because the dom's like, I enjoy this, and the sub's like, I enjoy this. And so when there is manipulation, when there is mind games, it's fucking consensual, and it's informed consent.
Right.
The sub knows what the dom's doing. The dom knows what the sub's boundaries are. If you come rolling up into the scene, just like any other... Okay, look at the nightclub scene, right? You wouldn't dress yourself up in your sparkliest, sluttiest little clothes and fucking hit a nightclub at 14 years old and not encounter those predatory, drunken assholes that are going to try to take advantage of you. And it is exactly the same in the kink scene or any other scene.
Yep.
You know, and we're not doing the whole, oh, you shouldn't dress this way, or you shouldn't.
Right.
No, it has nothing to do with you. It has to do with them.
Right.
Now, the kink scene, above all others, is usually really fucking good about policing their own.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. That's why this was so upsetting to me.
Yeah.
And thankfully upsetting to all the dominants I know. Basically, like... The response was pretty much the same. It's like, no, this is not a question I would ask.
I have a question. How many male dominants ask you, yo, what's this guy's name? Where's he live?
You know what? About 5 of them were like, 5. No, seriously, because they were like, well, I'll put it to you this way. No, that's never been a question I had to ask, because it really signals interest, which was the exact red flag I picked up on.
Yeah.
Listen, whether you had accepted my friendship or not, you know, you already threw up the flag. I feel like as you mature, and this is one reason you start having an awareness about yourself that makes you leery of things that people may say and portray to you. Yep. Because there's what they show you, and then there's what there is underneath. So now, as you're going through life, you begin that character navigation later in life, not as a teenager. You're figuring out, like, all your bells and whistles, and your hormones are all over the place, and you're figuring out how you're going to put up with your parents and get through school, and, you know, you want to sleep through half your day. Your priorities right now are so not as layered as they're not as layered as they're going to be, you know, 5 years from now. And the other problem that I have with getting involved with its dominant is they can determine your thinking for you, which means they're cutting you off from that opportunity. Okay. Yeah, you haven't developed as an individual to figure out what you don't want. You're letting them mold that. That's not okay.
And that's exactly right. And not to mention the fact that dominants prefer to play with whole people.
Yeah.
You are not a whole person yet. If you don't know, nobody wants a fucking doormat.
Right.
You know? And I'm sorry, but anybody that would take on a sub that young,
You're a
is
sick
not-
fucking asshole.
yeah, you don't. Not only do you not belong in the BDSM scene, you do not belong on this planet.
Right.
The only thing that you deserve, and the best thing you can really do for all of us, is at the first moment that you feel an attraction to a little kid like that or a teenager, you need to just fucking take one for the team and kill yourself. You know? Just end your life.
There's a reason why in prisons, like, people who have assaulted minors are the ones that get it the worst. Because even prisoners don't like you.
That they started putting them in protective units. Fuck that. Put them in gym pop.
No, nobody protected the kid. No. You know, let me tell you something. This is very personal, but I'm going to put this out here, and this is why it struck me and why all my bells and whistles went off. I was a victim. Okay? There was a time where someone took advantage of me who was in a place of power and a place of trust, and other people trusted them, and I'm telling you, the numbers match my story. It's too high, the number of, like, incidents of minors being victims of sexual abuse and mental abuse. And, you know, it's really hard to prove once you're broken, like, how it happened.
Well, dude, look at fucking that Netflix documentary that's blowing the hell up right now.
Which one?
Oh, shit.
The Abducted in Plain Sight one?
Abducted in Plain Sight.
How did I know? I fucking know you.
Dude.
Okay, first of all,
Abducted in Plain Sight.
Let's talk about that. Yes, because when I watched this, I was actually kind of hoping you had. Because...
Oh, you know I have.
I was watching... Yeah, I know. You're my documentary whore. I watch these things thinking about your commentary in the back of my mind, by the way. So you're always with me.
Oh, my God. We should have a watching party.
Yeah, we will totally do that. We're going to do that. But when I was...
About the listeners.
Yeah, you guys could do it. We'll pick something. We'll announce it. We'll put it on Instagram and Twitter. You guys will know. We'll talk about it on the show, and you can join us for a watching party. It'll be great.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, we'll plan it. We'll make it the first Daddy Issues event. I love this idea. Good job, wifey.
Me too.
Okay.
All right, sorry. Where were you going? Sorry.
So, when I was watching this, for those who haven't watched this, I'm only kind of laughing because it's so fucked up when you watch it. You've got two parents from middle America who just clearly...
Mormons.
Yeah.
Mormons. Don't forget they're Mormons.
Yeah, they are Mormons. It was their neighbor, right, that started all of this, that also belonged to their church, right?
Yeah, he's like a friend of the family and everything.
Friend of the family, nicest guy. Dude erects a wall in their daughter's bedroom and nobody fucking asks questions. He's got a tape recorder, mind fucking her every night. And this is the shit I'm talking about. You can completely break a person in the direction they're headed in life by messing with their mind, and you won't even know it's happening till it's too late.
Oh God, yeah. By the time that, like, shit really starts going down with this kid, this kid has been brainwashed to the point where she honestly believes,
doesn't even like her own parents.
Yeah, she honestly believes that she belongs with this guy and everything. And this is, I mean, it is fucked.
It was, and the parents. The parents, by the way, wake the fuck up. Stop looking the other way. This still happens. This is not an isolated story. This shit's still happening. Parents look the other way.
Yeah, but what makes this story isolated is both the parents were doing it too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't watched it. That's the punchline. He fucked them both. And their daughter. Like.
Dude, and the mom was clearly, like, still into it when she was talking about it.
Yeah, she was definitely, the way she would talk about him was like, it was Stockholm syndrome almost, the way it was like she would talk about him like someone talks about a cult leader.
Yeah, she was like definitely getting turned on when she was talking about their sexual encounters and stuff. It's just like, what the fuck is wrong with all of you? Everyone in this is so fucked up.
Dude, you know, you want to lend your fucking neighbor a shovel, fine, but you don't lend him your daughter. And the justification was so bullshit. They go, well, we didn't know. And then when things were weird and her behavior was changing and like, so which part did you not know? Because you knew all that, you're reporting it. Like, if your kids start acting weird, let me tell you something. Not all kids can come forward. Not all of them have the words. And not all minors are children either. Okay, we're talking anyone under 18. You're not invited to this party. You should not be involved at this show. Okay?
No. Not even a little bit.
Not even a little bit. It's not up for discussion. This is the adults talking here. And I don't care if you don't fucking want to hear it. Because honestly, I'm protecting you from what you don't know is so fucking bad out there. Because the person that's going to take you on is the exact kind of predator I'm describing. It is not going to be obscure. The only person who's going to take you on is going to be the exact type of person you shouldn't be with. You just won't know. They're going to give you the things you want. They're going to say the things you need. They're going to make you feel things. It's called grooming.
Yep.
And they will
That's
do
exactly
it.
Right.
Just like they can do it without BDSM on your neighbor's street, they can do it with it. And it's more, to me, detrimental because you're now adding a ripple effect in two worlds. You've now complicated sex, and now you've complicated the way someone interprets sex. Which, you know, if someone tells me that, like, when you're in a BDSM relationship, it can get as, you know... I don't know what I'm trying to say as far as, like, it can be so regimented that everything you think revolves around this person. Well, now there's no room for you. And when you're a fully developed person and you know when to click that on and click it off and check in and check out, that's fine. But you don't have those, you don't have the ability to compartmentalize on that level yet.
No, you don't.
So for those reasons, I'm wholly against this. And by the way, parents from abducted in plain sight, y'all fucking failed your child. Like, I can't even believe that you filmed that. Because even knowing now what you know, you really don't seem...
They're capitalizing on it. I mean, did you, speaking of, though, did you see because the dad from Abducted in Plain Sight died recently.
Did he? Oh.
Yeah. Did you see the comments under his obituary, though?
No.
Holy shit, the internet is savage as fuck, man.
I'll believe that. That.
He was such a good man. He was always there to lend a hand and, like, just, I mean, it was brutal. It was fucking brutal.
Jesus. Yeah, he gave the predator that was brainwashing his daughter and raping her a hand job because I don't know why. Like... It's always the uber religious, too. Like, what are y'all doing? Are y'all so pent up that you have to just, like, handy J's for everybody. Just, like, hardcore. Everybody. Anywhere a hand can fit. Just stick it up and hold it down. Like, what the fuck? Why?
Yeah.
It's like, okay. It's like... Just like right now there's shit going on in the church. I mean, not that there wasn't before, but you know what I'm saying? It's like, do we have to keep doing this? Can we just be open about our sexual problems? I mean, if you're a predator, just go to jail. Seriously, we don't need you. Prison is waiting. But if you're like just a guy that, you know, got into the priesthood and you're like, this really isn't working out for me. I'm not really for Jesus anymore. We understand. Stop, like... wearing the cloth and not walking the walk, though. It looks bad for everybody who actually does. Like, I know there are legit priests out there that really live their faith.
Are there, though?
No, there are. I actually know one.
Do we have any proof?
I do. I know one, and he's actually, and this is how I know. He used to be a Baptist, and he converted, and Baptist converts are the most legit, and I'll tell you why. Because to leave being a Baptist is like, bye, family. Like, he believed, but...
Oh, no, Nugget, off. Shit.
What'd he do?
He knocked on my laundry that I just folded over. You dickhead.
Yes. You could tell he has boy parts just by how he's a douche sometimes. Speaking of being a douche sometimes, I have a complaint that was sent to me by a listener. We have been robbed a bit. Who vlogs? First of all. Anybody? I hear silence. I don't think anybody vlogs. We're gonna start there. These vloggers decided to start a podcast called Call Her Daddy. No, let's not. Let's not call her anything. Let's just forget they exist. In fact, by the time you're done hearing about this, you all care as little as we do. But I'm bringing this up for a reason. It actually says Sophia Franklin and Alexandra Cooper, they're like lifestyle bitches that basically talk about shit like we do. Except they don't talk about shit like we do. They're not very intelligent. I've listened to their show. But they talk about relationships, sex, the New York social scene, like who cares, embarrassing moments, and more addressed here on Call Her Daddy. And I'm like, all right. Now, first of all, they both look like they're ready to blow you. I mean, I sent you the photo for a reason. They have their mouths open. They're ready. Okay.
Well, that's that. You know, you asked earlier who vlogs. That's who vlogs. People, seriously, that is who vlogs. People that really, really want attention and think that they're so interesting that they can become like a style icon or they can become internet famous. And the sad thing is that there's enough fucking idiot like preteens out there that watch
Sometimes
this shit
it's
that they
true.
probably can.
Yeah.
But podcasts do not work that way.
Yeah, no. You actually, my wife brought up an amazing point when this was brought to me. I was like, what the fuck? And she had actually the best reaction ever. She was like, first of all, I'm not even bothered by this because she was like, nobody cares, basically.
They don't. They don't. You go to, like I was telling you earlier, you go to any sort of podcasting subreddit or Facebook group or internet forum or whatever, and there will inevitably be someone that asks the questions, what are you sick of listening to?
Yeah.
What kind of podcast are you just over? And without fail, everybody's like, I'm sick of fucking lifestyle podcasts. I'm sick of podcasts where it's just two people that just bullshit.
Yeah.
You know,
they don't want to
people
just hear people talking to talk. They can do that at work.
Right? They want podcasts that are subject focused. And that's why, like I was saying earlier, that's why the true crime podcasts have blown the fuck up, because it's captivating and it's topic focused and people can like really get into listening to this story of what happened. The shit with people just sitting around bullshitting, like, bitches, you guys are like 5 years too late on that. Dude. That's long gone.
Yeah, nobody cares anymore. And the only reason I'm even bringing this up is because a listener was kind enough to be like, oh, they stole your shit. And I was like, aw, I love you. But no, they didn't, because we're better, and no, they're not. I listened to the show. I'm just going to say this. Don't.
What did they talk about?
Like, exactly what was in that small little blurb. I mean, it's literally, they're talking about, like, dates they go on, places they've been, like, what people are wearing.
Wow. Okay, so they're trying to make, like...
But they ripped us off in a couple ways. This is what this... I feel like we were a little ripped off. Like,
by your description, it sounded like they were...
Oh, go on.
By what you described just now, it sounded more like they were trying to rip off guys we fucked.
See, that's what I thought too, and that's why I listened. Now, the daddy thing, I was like, all right, you already Googled by now. You know we exist.
Yeah.
So that bothers me because there aren't a lot of daddy podcasts. I know. I looked. I double checked after finding this. So y'all knew we existed, but that's fine. Y'all want to cross swords? Fine. Okay? This is like picking up a Vogue article that got thrown out 7 years ago. You don't care.
Yeah.
And no one else does. Okay? Like, I wish I could characterize the show in a different way, but, like, I actually like Vogue. So it's like kind of a dig at Vogue. I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. What I meant was, like, what's that teen magazine? Tiger Beat. It's like Tiger Beat.
Fuck. Is that still around?
Yeah, it is.
Is Tiger Beat still
Pretty
a thing?
sure it is. Yeah, if you go to Barnes & Noble, you can find, like, the obscure magazines. That's one of them.
Holy shit, weird.
Yeah, it's like the adult version of Tiger Beat. And the part that I felt like was ripped off was, first of all, they're kind of ripping off what we talk about. They're not as good about talking about it, which
they're in their 20s. They don't have
life
nearly the experience. Yeah.
Dude, you haven't had time to get jaded yet. Sit back, bitch. Like, hold on. You know, and here's the thing. We're all about sisterhood here. Like, if y'all had actually hit us up and been like, hey, we're about to start a show, we'd love to be on yours, we probably would have had y'all on and plugged you and everything.
Totally we would have had them on.
But the fact that your description is so much like ours, except we're honest about the fact that I mean, like, they even try and act like they're edgy, which pissed me off. It's like, this is not edgy. This is about as edgy as an oval.
I was going to say, you can look at their pictures and immediately be like, not edgy.
No. They kind of, and here's the thing. If you ever get content for your show, give us a call. You know, you're more than welcome to join us if you ever get a show together. I'm such a bitch. And we're switching gears because you're that irrelevant. A lady got attacked by a jaguar, and I'm excited about it.
Dude, this bitch. Right. Okay. I wasn't even going to talk about this on the show until I saw the article, because everybody's heard about it by now. She tried to take a selfie with a jaguar, and the jaguar scratched her arm. They were like, he attacked her. No, if he full on went for her, she'd be dead.
Yeah.
She's got a laceration on her forearm. That is it. He
was like, get that fucking camera away, paparazzi, bitch.
Yeah, that was a fuck off swipe.
Yeah, that was a warning.
Attack.
Yeah. Okay, here's the thing about animals. I used to work around them, like really, really aggressive ones. So I'm here to tell you, they know what they're doing. They don't fuck it up. Like, if they want to kill you, they're gonna.
Oh, we're talking about fucking jaguar here.
Yeah, they kill for a living. It's half their day. Like, if they're not sleeping, they gotta kill something. Man, that's an awesome life when you think about it. No fucking holds barred. Just like, that guy doesn't look good for me.
No joke. If I were reincarnated and I got to choose, male lion. They sleep, they laze around, and all the women fuck them and bring them food.
I mean, it does sound like the best life ever. It does. I'm not going to sit here and lie.
And all you got to do is every once in a while when another male lion rolls up, get up and kick a little ass. And that's it. The rest of the time, you're fucking napping, snacking, fuck it.
I think that's a great idea. I think this is one of the better thought ideas you've had when it comes to being reincarnated. Last time I talked about this, I wanted to be reincarnated as a bear because I wanted to fuck some shit up. But you actually could fuck way more shit up as a lion because you're like the top of the predator list. They could fuck a bear up. I would not want to be a bear if I saw a lion. That's all I'm saying.
I think it'd be an interesting fight, though. Especially if it's like a grizzly. Well, because they're real big.
There was like this point at which they were thinking about putting the jaguar down. I was like, why though? He lives here. Like, we already stuffed him in there, and now we're going to be like, nah, he can't eat what ends up in his crate. Like, that's the way I looked at that.
Well, okay, here's why I wanted to talk about it today. Right? I read a fucking article today, and this bitch is like trying to go after the zoo for not being safe enough. Bitch, you rolled up into a jaguar enclosure to take a selfie. That is not the zoo's fault. You can't be pissed at the zoo because you're a fucking dumbass. You know? I mean, fuck off. It's not their fault that you were too stupid to like, hey, I should probably not get close to that giant-ass apex predator right there.
It's like,
you know?
It's like, in the name of Harambe and of the Irwin, like, it's like, how much carnage needs to take place before we're, like, having a healthy fear of predators again? Like, just because we put them in the... Really, even the zookeepers are like, yeah, nah, we don't even go in there with them like that. Like, we make sure they're kind of out cold before we ever go in there. That, I actually, I did this as a kid. There was a zoo program, and part of it was cleaning the zoo. Like, the actual enclosures. Okay, fun story. You are never in the same place as the animal, unless it's something that doesn't bite, which is nothing at a zoo. Okay, because everything at the zoo bites.
Everything, period, bites.
Yeah. So what they would do,
maybe French bulldogs, do they bite?
I mean, they do, just not well. Their jaws are all like. But
so it's like getting gummed to death.
Yeah, I mean, how seriously can you take a tiny mobster trying to gum you to death? Like, it's kind of a moot point at that age. At that stage, I mean. But yeah, no, like, they would clear all the animals to the other side or put them in a separate enclosure where they could be, you know, and you would do so even the zookeepers are like, y'all are fucking idiots. Like, we do this for a living and we wouldn't do that ever.
Right? I mean, that's what gets me. Okay, if the jaguar had escaped from its enclosure, hunted this woman down, and fucked her up.
Sorry, gotta shoot it.
I got you, girl. Yeah, this shit should be safer. No, your bitch ass tried to take a selfie with a jaguar. He bitch slapped you, and now you're crying about it. No.
You know, one of the things that really...
we invented... The reason human beings are intelligent, and the reason we're at the top of the food chain, and the reason that we erected civilizations and learned how to build buildings and drive cars and make computers and have internets and podcasts is because we're fucking pussies. Yeah. Anything can kill us. Yeah. Like, name an animal and it can fucking take us out. You know? God damn. Have we been living in comfort for so long that we forget that we have literally no defense other than the walls we build around ourselves?
Yeah, this is true. Like, there's a true story out there right now, and I don't know how old the story is, but I just now heard about it, where a pig suffocated its owner. It's like, man, pigs are coming back at you now. You can't even trust the bacon. Like...
Dude. Anybody that thinks a pig can't fuck you up needs to meet my good friend the wild boar.
Yeah, no, okay. First of all, I've already made comments on what hogs are capable of, you know. So, like, don't even with pigs. Like, they're mini hogs, and they get bigger, and, like, they get mad, and they have feelings. So, like, don't fuck with them, because they'll suffocate you or eat you.
And they can eat all of you. They can digest bone. Yeah. You know?
Yeah, they're like nature's dump truck. They will eat it all. They'll eat the shit and shit it out again. It's disgusting what they're capable of.
Yeah, but they're kind of shaped like dump trucks, and that makes me think that this whole thing is just really more adorable than it should be.
I love pigs. I have nothing against the pig for being pig-like. Dude, we have to stop blaming animals for... I saw a video on YouTube, and this was like last week before, of people taunting a lion through the glass. Like, these 3 guys were taunting it through the glass. And let me tell you something. I know that glass is there and all, but when you taunt an animal, you are training them. Yes. And eventually that could be triggered at a time where somebody who is just doing their job could be attacked. These are things that people don't talk about and think about, but y'all need to start thinking, because, you know, even if you're not the dumbass with the selfie who's getting eaten by the jaguar who did not eat you.
You know what? If only she'd gotten eaten. Then we wouldn't even bitch and moan about the zoo not being safe enough.
Yeah, quite frankly, if you have in your mind, I'm gonna take this selfie with a jaguar, we're not gonna miss you. It's okay. Like, whatever happens from here on out, it's like natural selection, and I'm just gonna watch.
And you know what? Fucking this is another prime example of white people shit.
This is some white people shit.
Always white people
This is
that
some
are
white
fucking
people
going
shit.
to Thailand and shit, and riding the elephants and taking a picture with a doped up ass tiger. White people! What? Stop! Just fucking stop!
It's like,
stop
do you really need that one Facebook moment so bad that you're willing to go to the hospital or be paralyzed or, like, maybe not see your kids grow up? I don't know. It's not worth it to me. I don't care about my social media that much. But if you do, make sure you put that Snapchat filter on, because some of y'all have ugly ass faces that end up on the news. I don't know how you guys got out of your cages before 9, but now that I've seen you creature features, I'm a little disturbed that you're not the ones in the cage first. Just saying.
You know, I mean, honestly, I mean, and keep in mind, I am speaking from a position. I am against zoos. I think zoos should be abolished completely. And if you want to see animals, you can have those like drive safaris in their natural habitat. We have the ability to
where they can actually have the right to fuck your car up. I feel like that's fair.
Yes, exactly.
I really do. Like, that may seem fucked up, but I feel like if you're in the animal space, it should have equal shots at your car. Like, if you love your Mercedes, but you really want to inflict yourself on an animal for its entire afternoon, let it fuck up your window.
Right?
I'm fine with it.
Like, I think zoos, it's outdated. It's cruel. I don't agree with them. However, you're gonna be at one. That's a fucking wild animal. Like, seriously, what are you doing? We don't have scales. We don't have armor. We don't have proper good teeth. I mean, actually, the human mouth is really fucking disgusting.
Yeah,
if
it's
you
really
bite
gross.
an animal, it can kill it with infection.
Yeah.
But, I mean,
we have dirty mouths. Dirty mouths.
Humans are gross.
Yeah, we're gross.
You know what? Of all of this natural species on this planet, humans are that really fat, smelly neckbeard guy that's always bitching about how women don't like him. Humans are that guy of the animal species. We walk around like we're the most amazing things on the fucking planet because we figured out how to enslave other members of our species to dig up shiny things for us to buy at an inflated price. But in reality, every other animal is just like, oh, fuck, here they come.
Yeah, I mean, I even feel like that about us sometimes. Like,
we're shit.
Dude, when I'm at the zoo and I see other people peopling, I'm like, nah, I gotta go. I can't.
That's a perfect way to put it. When I see other people peopling, I just
can't. I can't people with you. I really feel like weed makes it possible for me to tolerate the world. Barring that, I don't fucking like you. And it's not even your fault. No, it is your fault. It's your fault because I said so. I feel like
I mean, you know what? It is and it isn't. Like,
I sound so narcissistic. I'm like, it's your fault that I don't like you.
It is, though. Because it's not... Okay, a lot of people get hung up on ideologies, individualized ideologies, right?
Yeah.
And really, what all of them come down to is what rights each individual person thinks that we are entitled to as a species.
Right.
Right? But in that vein, you know, we've gotten so completely off track with it because since the industrial age, when the concept of major corporations and workhouses and class divides became the norm, we have had a very isolating experience when it comes to the planet that we live on. Yeah. You know, nothing exists outside of our civilization because we see it as the pinnacle because no other species could build this. And it's like, we built it because we're weak.
Yeah.
You know, but we're so fucked up and evil that it's not enough for us to just live communally together and build these nice structures and have these nice things to keep ourselves safe from predators. No, we have to exploit each other and fuck each other over and make everything into... It's like an overdramatic teenager. I'm sorry, did it cut you off?
Yeah, I just figured you had to make a call or whatever. It was fine. It's okay.
No, Ben rang me, so when I answered it, it must have hung up on you.
I think what it initially did was put me on hold, and then after a little time, I think it might have cut me up. But I don't mind. I figured you just had to go and deal with something. It's fine. Dude, how do you do that?
We're on Facebook Messenger, so you can do the thingy at the bottom.
Oh, see, I'm on my computer. I'm not on my phone.
Oh.
I don't have all those.
I guess this is the advantage of the phone.
That's the advantage. You can be adorable in, like, video form. That's nice. Nice.
It changes color.
That's insane what you're doing to your lip color right now. It's bothersome that you can change it every time you nod your head. It's like a fucking witch. Okay, I backed up to figure out what the fuck we were just talking about. We were ranting about people, and you were like, you know, people get caught up in ideologies and, like, what people are supposed to be or they think. You started saying...
yeah, but I can't remember what it was in relation to.
We were just talking about how, like, when it do you hear that? Do you hear that?
It's a ghost. Do you have ghosts?
Probably.
God damn it!
No, we were talking about how, like, the lady that got caught by the jaguar, basically, was stupid and crazy, and we always are making excuses for these crazy-ass stupid behaviors, which are really inexcusable. And then we got on to how we don't like people in general, and maybe that's the problem. And then you were like, well...
Yeah.
But you made a really good point. You were like, well, I mean, it is their fault. Because I was like, well, I'm narcissistic, I guess, because I thought maybe we were going too far by blaming everybody for us not liking them. But you were like, actually, it is their fault that we don't like them because they suck so much. So
it's true. It's true. I'm sorry, but like, people have forgotten that we are, at the end of the day, animals.
Yeah. Yeah, we all... Yeah, you know what? I figured that out in spades the other day. Should I talk about that?
You should.
Okay. I know that one of these people listens.
Ooh.
So, I guess now that I'm calmer, I might as well share my side of the story. My friend of basically half my life was coming into town, and I was really excited to see them. And your fucking Snapchat filters are messing with my mind.
I'm trying to make it so that you stay
dude,
happy.
it's so hard to be fucking serious when you read. So, okay, so we had made plans, and, well, initially they had contacted me. We talked frequently, but, like, they contacted me about a month ago, and they were like, I'm gonna be in town, and they offered me 2 dates, and I tried to solidify one date, and it didn't really happen. But then when they came into town, they had called me up, and they wanted me to come out that night, but I couldn't because I had no one to watch my son, and it was just not possible. So I was like, but they were like, well, what about Monday? And I was like, okay, I could totally do Monday.
Yeah.
And they were like, I was like, I'll make sure I have a sitter. They told me to be available. They were like, you're not going to flake on us, right? And I was like, no. Not that I flake on people, but, like, you know, I was serious. I was going to go. Oh my God, her fucking filters. So anyway, so we made this plan, and then they tell me that they're gonna be like coming in the evening, or they have to leave. They have to go back home in the evening, but their boat is docking at like 9 a.m, right?
Right.
So we recorded that day, and I had purposely ended with you earlier, so this way I would be free.
Yeah.
And I was, and I didn't do anything because I was waiting around. And at 10, when I hadn't heard from them, I had a weird feeling in my stomach, right?
Yeah.
But, like, I just didn't want to deal with it yet. I was like, this is probably just me being paranoid, so I just didn't put any credence in it. Then 11 o'clock goes by, no call, no text. Mind you, like, I know they're leaving town that night, and I've only got a handful of hours to even work with because of, like, I have a kid. So, like, yeah, life, you know? So I, at noon, reached out and was like, hey, what's up? And they were like, we're leaving the Everglades. And I'm like, what the fuck? Because, like, where they were docking and the Everglades are nowhere near each other. So, basically, they had a whole morning where they did something cool, whatever. I was like, so what are y'all up to now? And then they tell me that they're about to hang out with this person that they know is not speaking to me because I said something to her that she didn't fucking want to hear, is really the size of it. You know, when you tell me, I'm just gonna fucking say it. When you tell me you're when you tell me you're not trying to get pregnant, but you're not on birth control, you're doing nothing to protect yourself from getting pregnant.
Oh, it's that chick.
It's that chick.
Oh my God.
So if you want to say all that to me, and then when I say to you, no, you're not preventing the pregnancy, so no, I don't really believe that you're not trying to get pregnant when you're not doing anything to prevent it. Like, the fact that you're not pregnant doesn't mean you're not trying to get pregnant.
Yeah.
I said that after hearing for like 4 or 5 months, you know, that she wasn't, but she also still wasn't preventing any, you know, it's like, science is science, guys. You've already had kids before. We know it's possible. And so, because I said that, she cut me off. And did that for, like, months. And hasn't been speaking to me. Has bitched to this other person about me, about this, to them. So it's not like this person didn't know there was an issue. They were pulled into it by her. So... And I was like, and this is true about me. Anybody listening, if I fuck up, I will apologize to you within the same moment, that day, or within that week. If you don't hear from me getting an apology within 7 days, I'm not apologizing. I'm not sorry. Yeah. For whatever the fuck reason I have, there's a reason I'm not apologizing. And that was one of mine. The other was when I told her, well, what if you do get pregnant? When she kept saying she didn't want to be pregnant, she then threw the, well, I can just have an abortion. I'm sorry. That's just not easy to hear. You know, like, to someone like me who's had multiple miscarriages and fought to have a child, like, that's just not fucking okay to say. I'm sorry.
No, and as somebody that's had 3 abortions, that's not okay to say.
Yeah.
It's not a backup plan.
It's not a backup plan. And you don't trivialize something where you had a choice on the forefront. Like... You know,
dude, honestly, I'm just picturing pure trailer trash here.
Well, I don't want to say that about her because I don't hate this person, okay? But what I will say is it's complete and utter bullshit that when first of all, I should not have had to hit up my first friend, like, at noon, being like, what's up? You know, half the day is gone. Like, is anybody gonna chill? Like, and then... when I asked, and then I was like, wow, okay, fine. Basically, like, because they told me they were meeting with her for lunch. There was no follow-up, like, hey, you know, let's meet here for dinner or whatever. There was none of that. There was just, this is what we're doing with her. Just like they told me they had just left the Everglades. Like, there was no offer made. Yeah. And...
Dude, I wouldn't have even checked in with him.
Well,
like,
I did because I was hurt, is the truth. And I just really wanted to know, this one person has ditched me before. They did it on my 21st birthday. They took all my friends and went on my 21st birthday without me. That's a true story. It really happened. And I had broken up with them. We had a history. We dated many, many years ago. And I broke up with them. But we had been broken up for several months before my birthday, and they all still left without me. So this has happened before. Now, initially, I didn't even know he was gonna see her, but I do know that he saw her just a couple months ago. So it's not like they haven't seen each other recently. She goes up there all the time, and he hasn't seen me in 2 fucking years, 3 years. And we had a plan. that you're basically like, it sounds like you basically called her or got in touch with her before me that day, is what it sounds like. And then got your fucking hand caught in the goddamn cookie jar. Because I am not the kind of fucking bitch that can move life around. Listen, I literally moved heaven and earth to make that day possible. Seriously. I cleared things, I moved things, I'm an agoraphobic, so like I actually, this is gonna sound stupid, but mentally needed to prepare to make the drive down there. And I had done all of that. And then to find out, not only are you making other plans, but you put the one person in those plans that you know doesn't want to see me. You know what I mean? Like,
they're not your friends.
That's just such a fuck thing to do.
All of my friends, all of them, and you can ask. I still know how to get a hold of several people from high school and stuff. If you want to verify this, always, it has been a thing. If you make plans with me, right, you either show up or contact me to let me know that something's going on,
right?
Or I will not respond. I will just never, like, you know, I will not do it. I'll just never respond to you.
Dude, you know the worst part? He actually put it back on me. He was like, this is me coming 95% of the way and you doing nothing. I was like, the fuck it is. No, that's not at all what happened. I made the time. I was ready to go down there. I literally was calling you assuming I was about to have to get ready or in the car or something. And then on top of all of this, they asked me out for drinks. And it's public knowledge, I don't drink. I'm not religious. That's not why I don't drink. I don't drink. I just don't drink. You know that about me. And it's been that way for over a year. So why the fuck am I having to explain this to who's supposed to be my best friend, who's now doing something really fucking dirty? Because even if, and here's what makes it dirty, even if he was expecting to work me in later in the day, dude, why bring her up? You could have just been like, we're gonna have lunch and then we'll hang out with you. But what it was now you know you can't get rid of her, and you don't want me in the same room, because I'll be like, you did something fucking dirty, you're doing something really goddamn dirty, and I'm fucking sick with both of you talking about it behind my back. I'm still a little angry. Because I feel betrayed by two people. One person I've known for like 7 years and introduced to my fucking family, and you know, like the other person I've known for 15 fucking years. Like, this is not a short relationship. And for you to act like I'm being petty when you damn well know that she hasn't spoken to me. That's the problem. Like, and when she did reach out, it was some bullshit, which I already talked to you about, and I'm like, done. I don't have anything against the fact that y'all are friends, but don't pull me into it and act like it's my shitstorm. No. So as a result, and it's really sad, like that I'm done. Like everything that played out in that argument, and the fact that neither of them reached out to me the entire fucking time. Bye. That's it.
Dude, I'm sorry, and I don't mean to be mean by saying this, but like, since I've known you,
I know
I have not met a single one of your friends that wasn't a complete dickhead.
I know.
Not one.
I know. I
Not
do have
a
good
single
friends.
one.
I do have good friends. It's just you haven't met them yet. Like my sister. My sister's amazing.
Your sister. I don't count her as a friend because she's family.
Well, yeah, no, but you know, like, I have two amazing sisters who literally I could call in the middle of the night with a train wreck in front of me, and they're there, you know?
Yeah.
And I have really good guy friends, too. Like, I have people in my world that I can trust and turn to. And you're one of those people. But what took place it was like a bullet to the heart, dude. It really was. Because the entire time I'm sitting back there knowing that they're having a conversation about me without me there. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck all of you. Seriously, y'all deserve each other. Because if you think that after every fucking thing that has taken place, that I'm the asshole, I'll be the asshole. I'll take that L and the fucking door. Bye. I'll take it. Because I'd rather not be crazy with you. I would rather go light into you and fucking let you know where I'm coming from and walk out. I'm done. I don't want to be abused anymore by people I feel like I trust. And I'm not saying this was abusive per se, but I'm just saying, like, it was really fucking mean.
Yeah.
And then trying to act like, dude, don't act like you were making plans with me after the fact when I'm the one reaching out to you at noon.
Yeah.
You're leaving town
seriously.
tonight. So I'm sorry that, like, I didn't work into your plans when you just saw her 2 months ago, but now you've got the rest of your lives together. Have fun. She literally has, this is a fucking fact, and I hope she hears this. I hope he fucking sends this goddamn message to her. The only reason that you're not talking to me about what went down between us is because you know I was fucking right to say it, and you don't have the right to fucking face me on it now. And if you did, you would have already fucking done it. She basically just says that I was accusing her of lying about something when you're telling me you're not preventing the pregnancy because you're just not. Like, you're just not. That's not a lie that I'm inventing. You are telling me the lie. If you're not on birth control, but you're telling me you're trying not to get pregnant, that's a lie.
Yeah.
Because you just do when you're not on birth control, unless you're inept, which you're not because you've got kids. Like, don't. I was supposedly medically barren, and I've got a kid, so I'm here to tell you that miracles happen. So I don't like the fact that I was demonized by someone I trusted, and he was like, well, I have other friends. Okay, you have them then. You have all those other friends now. Ugh. I'm gonna have to clip that up because that was a long rage fest. But I needed that. Seriously.
It sounded like, it seemed like, I didn't want to interrupt you because it seemed like you just needed to, like, get it out.
Dude, I think what it is like being friends with you and Laura and, like, just having, like, I have a friend, Blue Hair Betty, like, just having people who are real about shit. And I'm not like, oh, they ain't real enough for me. No, it's not like that. It's like, I'm gonna be on the table, and if you don't like it, fucking don't deal with me then. You know? Because I'm tired of hiding in the shadows with you and your lie. I'm not gonna. Like, I won't rat you out, but I just also don't want to be involved. She would rat you out.
I'll rat you out all day just because I get bored sometimes. You know, like I keep secrets deserving of being kept. If you've like done some illegal shit or whatever, I ain't gonna go to the cops about it unless it's like really fucked up.
Yeah.
But if you're cheating, if you're lying to your significant other, if you're doing whatever, I will absolutely rat you out, and I'll do it in front of a bunch of people too.
Yeah, she will. Every time this is true. Anytime, and I do mean anytime, I've asked her, well, should I tell this person? I often don't do it, but her answer is always, yeah, you should tell them. You should fucking totally tell them. You should let that shit right out to dry. Because, and you know what? My sister said something to me the other day. Shout out to Tiny Red. She was like, what? Tiny Red. Yeah, whatever is done in the dark comes to the light. And damn if she is not right about that. So if you want to be the dog to bring out the dirt, it's on you. The only reason I'm even talking about this right now is because y'all stood me up and my kid and I were there. Like, I had my kid taken care of. I had my day structured. I gave up other shit I had planned and didn't make plans with another friend who wanted to see me that day. Because I was like, no, I haven't seen this friend in a really long time. Well, it looks like that they weren't, like, the fact that I'm sure you framed this up by now to make it my fault, and that's fine. Like, I know that you just feel like I didn't want to get in the car, and I was being a hissy fucking bitch, but I don't care how you spin this. When you know that two of your friends are not talking, and then you act like you're gonna put them in the same room together, and or you're gonna see one before the other when you just saw one. That's fucking picking. I didn't ask you to do that. You know, you could have made plans with her, never even told me you saw her. I didn't have to know. You know?
No, but they wanted that. They, in reality, they just couldn't be bothered to hang out with you and wanted to make a fucking issue out of it so that you would get pissed off. And they could be like, well, we went all the way down there to see her, and then she just got pissed off because we saw this person.
That's
blah, blah, blah.
exactly what they fucking did, too. That's exactly what they did. That's exactly what they did. 100.
Yep.
And by the way, I didn't even speak to her in the midst of this, but because there is no fucking way on the planet you passed my house and it didn't cross your mind that you're about to see one of my best fucking friends that I introduced you to. Fuck you. You're not a friend. Like, she had to drive by my house to go see him. What a dick.
Yeah.
And you're right. I need to pick better friends. Like, you would have loved... I have a friend in Texas that you would have absolutely adored. She's a horse person. I don't want to name her on air because I don't know that this is her format, but I'll just call her Horse Girl. And she's amazing. She's like this really sweet girl. Anytime, like, I ever needed a friend or, like, we had good times, like, she was salt of the earth woman, you know?
Yeah.
But there aren't enough of us. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm perfect. I fuck up all the time, and often I will be the one to fall on the sword for you because I love you anyway. And often I don't care about being the one that's right. But in this situation, I'm not backing down. You can both fuck yourselves. Like, seriously, the way I felt that day is the second time I've been made to feel that way by somebody else. By this one person, the friend that was coming in from out of town. And this other girl and I were already on the outs, so what the fuck am I losing? Dude, you weren't there for me. You made your choice. You act like too little too late is enough. Well, it's not. Not everybody has time for your petty ass bullshit. And I'm not being petty by saying I don't want to fucking play with you anymore. That's how I feel. The end. That was really the end. Now I'm really done ranting about that. What else do we have to get to? We had some articles. Oh, you sent me something earlier this morning, which I'll get to in a second. But did you see the article about the Lyft driver that got convicted of raping a woman? Like,
yeah.
So now it's not an Uber problem. It's just everybody's doing it. Everybody's doing the dirty on the driving.
Oh yeah.
Like,
yeah, but I mean, this has been a vulnerability. I mean, that's the whole reason that there are female-only taxi companies and stuff like that, because this is a problem.
Is that a thing? Female-only taxi companies?
Yeah, all the cars are pink. They're adorable.
Oh, I love that.
All the cars are pink. All the drivers are female. Like.
Oh, we were going to comment on the Johnny Depp Amber Heard shit, and we're not really...
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's huge. We have to get on that. So we talked about false accusers and how rare that is, but all 20 of you can stand up now because we found one. So we're back down to 19.
Yep.
Seriously, I'm going to let you lead this one. Do you know where it is in the feed, or do you want me to resend you the article? Because I think
I read it pretty recently, so I'll just skim over. So what's happened is all the footage from Amber Heard came out, and everybody's like going off about Johnny Depp, and rightfully so.
Yeah, including us. We did that. Sorry.
Absolutely, we did that too.
It looked pretty fucking bad. It did.
Yeah, so he's suing her now.
Yeah.
And in the process of that, all of these security tapes and
like 84
audio, the full length of all of them have been released, and it shows that she was actually the abusive piece of shit, not him. And that audio of him ranting and raving and throwing stuff around, that was when he was all drunk and everything. That was the day his mom died, and she basically antagonized him until he lost his shit and filmed it to try to frame
a fucking bitch.
And she did all of this to try to improve her acting career.
Social climbers, just jump off the ladder. We don't need you.
That's the thing. Like,
First of all, Johnny Depp, I don't know if anybody notices this about human behavior, but not all acting is acting. This man definitely has seen some shit and feels some shit. So, like, if he's in his feelings, he wouldn't be the one that I'd be poking the bear about. You know what I mean? Like,
well, and I mean, it shows there was some of the security footage showed, him kicking or her kicking him, her punching him in the face, all
what a
this stuff
psycho.
in front of other people. In front of, like, I mean, there's a bazillion witnesses for this bitch acting like this and assaulting him. So he is the victim here. He's the one that has been stuck in this abusive relationship with this woman.
Did he ever file charges against her, like, for assault or anything like that?
I don't think so.
He should have. Like, not to say that he wasn't, because it sounds like he absolutely was a victim. Like, he should have. Because she doesn't deserve to fucking have an acting career while she's pulling that shit.
How are you gonna? Okay, right. I'm gonna lighten the mood here a bit by saying something totally inappropriate. How are you gonna fucking get to be in a position where you get to fuck Johnny Depp on the regular and then treat him like shit?
Dude, you're for real. Like, you're working every woman's dreams right now. I don't really know what it is about Johnny Depp. I can't honestly tell you, but I'd probably have a round or two.
Eyes. That's what does it for me.
I think it's the fact that I can tell he's, like, a little disturbed. I think I like that about him. Because he'd be my only freak fuck. Like, and that's saying something with me. But, like,
that
he really...
guy liner.
Yeah, it is the guy liner. You're right. It's the guy liner. It's the guy liner.
Guy liner, though.
Yep. Yeah, and, dude, anybody who likes living in Paris, like, I'm probably with you on that. Because, like... Parisian people don't like anybody either. Like, we're all on the same page. Everybody hates everybody equally in Paris. There are videos of Parisian people just telling other people to fuck off that they know. Like, they just hate each other.
Let's keep in mind that he's suing her for defamation, which is actually absolutely legit.
Yeah.
You know, she did defame him.
Yeah, she made him look like a critical abuser who was beating his wife. Yeah.
Now, let's also remember that he did not sue Scroobius Pip for making a song about how Johnny Depp is a serial killer. Because he was like, it's funny. It's not,
Dude, the guy has a good sense of humor. Like, he's not an asshole. But she is. Dude, the fact that you did this to get better jobs just proves that you belong in jail. Like, what will you do to get ahead?
This bitch should be in prison.
He could have been. He could have been for what she did.
That's the thing about fucking...
You're gonna ruin that man's life for nothing? What the fuck?
That's the thing about these rich and famous circles, though. Because at some point in their success, they're surrounded only by race to the top people. And race to the top people are fucking horrible human beings.
Yeah,
you know?
They're actually... Did you hear about Felicity Huffman and the other chick from Full House?
Yeah.
That are getting... Yeah. They got their hands caught in the cookie jar because they were paying for their kids to get ahead in college. And now this is... I mean...
I saw a post about this earlier today that I thought was really relevant because somebody just said on Twitter, is it just me or is anybody else... I mean, we all knew that rich people paid to get their kids ahead and had other people take exams, but is everybody else just really surprised that it's illegal for them to do that? Because they've always fucking done it.
Right.
And I felt that. I was like, yeah.
Well,
definitely.
And it's really true because, I mean, you see it in college all the time. It's not even unheard of. It's a social thing that everybody knows about. When I was growing up, people were like, well, Ivy League schools, the alumni get in and the rich kids get in, and then they fill in the blanks. Like, that's really it. And it's not... That's like common knowledge. I didn't think we needed to talk about it. Kind of like how I didn't think we needed to talk about the fact that Michael Jackson's a predator. Like, thought that was...
I still haven't seen that documentary, but I need to watch it.
Dude,
But yeah,
it's like,
it
why
sounds
are
like
we...
just a whole bunch of no shit.
Why do we
No
have
shit.
to... Are we running out of news? We can't, like... We have to rehash 10-year-old news? Like, what are they going to be like? Jean-Benet Ramsey's brother killed her. It's like, duh. Like,
No
that's
shit.
why mom's
Yeah.
in jail, because she's the only one who would take a bullet for their own kid because their own kid was sadistic. That is psycho, by the way. But, I mean, seriously, like, news like that seems to be... kind of, oh yeah, like she was killed, like that's gonna be the next thing. Come on. Like, we already knew these things were going on.
I mean,
like,
it's like
the
like
acting
R. Kelly
couch,
thing.
come on, everybody knew you were getting fucked on that thing. Like, I'm sorry, like, I work in that industry and I'm here to tell you that if a guy looks at me sideways, I'm already pulling out my brass knuckles and they know what's up. Like, every guy in that industry that is sick and twisted is going to take advantage of any person who lets them. And
Yeah.
I'm not saying, like, you, quote, that was not good phrasing, not let them, but what I meant by that is, if you don't stand your ground and get the fuck out of there, if you can, in some situations you can't, and it's truly your prey and you're just stuck. But in a situation where you can kind of feel the fucking vibe coming on, get the fuck out of there!
Yeah, always trust your gut. Always.
Jesus, if you're,
There's no
ladies,
amount of,
yeah,
because
when in
honestly, a
doubt,
lot
get
of people-
out!
a lot of people have this dream of being famous, and I don't get it, because fucking why? I just want to be able to live my life. I want to be able to, like, go to the fucking grocery store at 2 a.m. if I want to without having paparazzi all up my ass. And, like...
You're like,
you know,
I just took a fart, I crop dusted 10 unsuspecting victims with cameras. Like,
I'm telling you, like, who would want that?
yeah.
Who would want a life like that? You know, fuck that.
I enjoy modeling. I do. And I feel like I'm pretty good at it. I enjoy it. But I'll
You're
tell you
very
one
good at
thing. Thank you. But I'll tell you one thing. I never want to be famous. Don't follow me around with a camera.
No.
I'll break that motherfucker. I don't mind the assault charge. Like, seriously, I am the woman that they report on that's like, she broke a camera again. I'm her. Like,
I'm the woman that they report on that's like, woman was arrested drinking wine out of a Pringles can, riding in a shopping cart.
Dude, oh, and there's another thing going on right now. He's in jail. He already made bail, but he's a MMA fighter. He was down here in Miami Beach, and a person, we'll call them the victim, took a photo of them while they were in public, which, by the way, is completely legal. You can take photos in public environments. They don't need rights. Nothing needs to be signed. Nothing. If you're in a public place, your photo can be taken. So for those of you that don't know that, you should know that. And that's in most states that I'm aware of. For sure, New York and Florida. So here we are. I'm reading through the article, and basically it sounds like someone was like trying to take a selfie with him in the background, right? Kind of like Jaguar Lady. So just stop taking selfies, everybody. So like taking the selfie, like, yes, and then MMA fighter knows he's in the photo and gets pissed and fucking breaks it and like stomps the absolute shit out of the fucking camera phone. And I gotta be honest, like, in my heart of hearts, I was like, I don't really think that it's anyone's right to take my photo. Like, you can, it's legal, but I don't think it's okay. So not that I would have handled it like that, but I understand why you wouldn't want someone to have your photo.
When I was squatting in New Orleans, we had to chase somebody down and, like, take their camera and demand money. Yeah, because they like to, like, when you're in New Orleans, all the weird looking kids, tourists like to take pictures of us.
Yeah.
And so
like,
we're just like,
you're
no,
like a sideshow.
we're not a tourist attraction.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And here's the other thing, like, I don't really care if you take my photo per se. I know I just complained about it a little bit, but I know that we're all on the grid. So to me, if you take my photo, someone else already did, you know? It's not and I'm not anybody of note, so, like, you're not taking my photo because I'm famous, you're taking it for sick reasons, and I know that. Like, you just think I'm hot, and you want to spank it later. So, you know, but that all aside, like, I already know it's public knowledge that's going on. There's nothing I could do about it, so I don't think I would have reacted that way. But don't fuck with an MMA fighter.
Right.
Dude, almost, like, he assaulted the guy, broke his fucking, I don't know if it was a camera or camera phone.
Holy
It must have been camera phone, yeah. Yeah, he was serious. Don't fuck with him. And he just won the title for his weight class, so, like, he's in good shape.
Right? That's the thing. Like, think it through, man.
Yeah.
You see somebody on the street.
Yeah.
Is this person able to kick my ass if I take their picture? If the answer to that question is yes, let it go.
Yeah.
Or ask them first. You can just ask people. It's not illegal. You can just say, hey, do you mind if I get a picture?
And believe it or not, if someone asked me, I'd be like, okay. Like, it'd be less weird if you asked. When we do photo shoots,
it's like, cool, I can at least make sure my shit's all together.
Right. You can make sure all my bits and parts are put away. You know, when we do photo shoots in public places, even when they're, like, closed areas, people will still be taking photos and videos of you. And, like, sometimes, like, you're adjusting your shirt and shit, and, like, your nipples over there, and you're like, oh, that needs to go back in the slot. Like, there are adjustments you're making that are definitely making to somebody's fucking camera phone. It's just part of the job, and, like, you just know it going in, and you don't really get fazed by it. I mean, it's obvious they're taking photos of you, by the way. Usually they're right in front of you doing it. So, but anyway, people be crazy. I wouldn't be doing that shit. I don't want anybody's photo that bad. Even famous people, I wouldn't be taking their photo. I'll just look for you in a magazine.
I don't care enough about famous people to want to take pictures of them.
Yeah,
that's taking up valuable meme space in my phone.
Dude, you know? Right? I have way more memes. I don't even read any sort of, like, it's weird that we're talking about things that are happening with pop culture at all, because really, generally, I don't even pay attention to it. I'm running my own game.
I think it's just been because it's been such a crazy couple of days that it's like, well, we should probably talk about this. Especially once you got creepy message.
Yeah, dude, right? We had to say something about that. That had to be brought up.
This is our public service announcement episode.
Dude, we should.
Don't falsely accuse people of shit. Don't try to take selfies with predators. Don't try to fucking take pictures with MMA fighters without their knowledge.
Don't fuck with minors. Dumbasses.
Don't fuck with minors. Like, PSA, brought to you by Daddy Issues.
You know what? We're all about being progressive over here, but we're not that progressive. Like, don't be weird. Don't make it weird, guys. Okay, I'm making sure I'm looking through all of these articles and making sure we've got everything down. Let's see.
Yeah, because I do need to go soon. I'm going to have to do the school run.
Oh, I just wanted to comment on, do you think there's a rise in acting like creating news? Like, you know the Jussie Smollett thing where he staged being attacked, okay? So at first there was this huge uproar and all the celebrities were like kind of behind him and normal people too and all that. Normal people, us mortals. But, you know, like, do you think that recently people are doing more extreme things to not even just boost their careers like Amber Heard, but also just not even to get their name out there, but like to set a precedence in what's going on culturally? And the reason I say that... Okay. Well, that was a quick answer.
No, I do. There's a clear upsurge in it. And the thing is that this is that you saw the same kind of thing back in the days of segregation and back in, you know, the late 20s in Germany. Anytime, it always starts with shit like people... Yeah, take segregation, for example. You know, there was a massive upsurge in white women saying, oh, this black man harassed me, he whistled at me, he grabbed my ass, whatever, and they were all getting locked up and murdered over it and lynched publicly. But I think this is the first time that we've seen, like, the other side doing it. Like, I think this is the first time we're seeing sort of like that people that lean towards the left doing stuff like this ever. I can't think of any other time. And I went to uni for history. I can't think of any other time period where the propaganda and the bullshit was equal on both sides almost. And please don't mistake that for me saying that just because there's people lying about stuff on both sides that both sides are equally as bad, because they're fucking not.
Right. Yeah, we're not saying that. Don't drink
They're
the
not.
Kool-Aid, idiot.
There is a difference between, like, trying to get your name out there by saying that you got beaten up by skinheads than being an actual skinhead. You know, there's a massive difference between those two things. So don't think for a second that I'm giving any leniency to anyone on the right, because I won't. But I'm saying that I think this is the first time that we've seen people on the left do this kind of thing. And I think a lot of that has to do with just the sheer amount of media firestorms that are going on right now. Every little thing is making big news. So you're guaranteed to get some kind of coverage, you know?
Yeah, that's the other thing. It's like, if you make enough noise, it's like you said, you know, people, if they have enough people to jump on board, it's over. Like, they're popular, you know? Even if there's not a good reason for it, or there's a really bad reason for it, you know? I think that's why I asked, because I don't remember while I was growing up seeing, like, what seems like a resurgence of, it's not even fake news, it's invented. Like, the people it's about are inventing stories that the news will then broadcast in hopes that it'll set a precedent. And that's a very dangerous game to play because of how it can be interpreted. Or you could be outed, like what happened with Smollett. You know, like, dude's whole life is over now. Like, he fucking pulled a shame story.
That's the thing that's so sad about his particular case, because that was solely for publicity. And he wanted publicity so bad that he has fucked himself completely trying to get it.
And he made it a race thing too. Like, it.
And
like,
that's the thing. There's no shortage of racist attacks.
Right. They're happening every day.
There's no shortage of genuine racist attacks. So why invent one? If you want to get your name out there, fucking look at Kirkpatrick.
Yeah.
But you want to get their name out there, go advocate against violence against people of color.
Right.
You know, don't invent it like it happened to you.
Right.
Because now you're fucked.
Right.
And you're not helping anyone.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, because as soon as that story got ripped apart, and it wasn't very long, but all of those resources were completely wasted. 30 or 40 counts of felony charges. Your life is over, dude. Your life is over. Like, for whatever you were trying to do, whatever political stunt whatever publicity stunt you were trying to pull, it's completely all for naught now, because you look like such shit that no one's gonna stand behind you. Like, all of these people, all these celebrities spoke up and were like, I feel for him, I can't believe that he was attacked in this way, and everybody reacted in a wave response in support of him until they found out that he fucking orchestrated it, and it's like, oh shit, the room went quiet, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, I'm sorry, if you fuck up, I'll talk about that too. You know, like, if you did this to yourself, the resources that were wasted, I can't even imagine how many people were murdered while they were looking for who was going after your ass when you already knew because you paid them. Like, that's fucked up. Also, small fun fact, I don't know if every parent is aware of this. I definitely was not aware of this. I have a younger child, so it's not an issue yet, but they do pay kids to snitch on other kids in school now, which I think is so fucked up, because it's like almost paying them to get their ass beat also, because eventually word's gonna get around that they're snitching, so they're gonna get stuffed in a locker a few times and their ass beat.
Oh, God, yeah.
I'm just saying, like, and that's actually the least of my worries. That's like 90s trouble. Now kids have gotten advanced. They will beat your kid within an inch of their lives. Like, shit is serious now. Kids are way more organized. They do sadistic shit to each other. So, like, what could have started as your friend, like, ratting you out for $100 could end up with your friend not also being your friend again, and you might hire some friends to beat his ass with the same $100 he just made. Like, people are fucked up, and I gotta tell you, kids, when money is involved, will do some really fucked up shit. If you give
Oh, God,
kid,
yeah.
if for $5 even, like, we're not even talking a lot of money. If you told a kid, if you go tell something to that person for I'll give you $5, they'll do it. They'll fucking do it. They don't care.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah, I routinely bribe my children.
see, so you know, and then on top of that, it's like, okay, well, this is kind of like entrapment, but on top of it, wouldn't you think that there's like some fucked up kid in there that's gonna be like, well, I'm gonna plant some evidence on this kid and report it?
Oh, God, yeah.
Different offenses they get paid more for. So like if you report a gun, it's like $100 or more. And like it's saying that you found them like smoking weed is like $50. So it's like,
dude,
what are
you don't
you
even-
gonna say?
Dude, you don't even have to do that. I mean, they won't even have to plan it on them. You just be like, I think $50 is a lot of money. Be like, all right, we'll bring this in, and then I'll narc you out this week.
I'll narc you out this week.
And next week I'll bring the shit, and you can narc me out, and we'll split the money then.
This is the shit.
You know?
I'm telling you. You're right.
Kids
You're
aren't fucking
right.
stupid.
Kids are not stupid, and by teenage years, by the time you're asking them to narc on each other, they already know what's up. So like,
Oh, dude,
they're smoking the joint while figuring out how they're gonna narc on their friends about smoking a joint. So don't even act like they're not organized enough to do this.
Dude, I was that teenager. Fucking,
Yeah.
I
You would have been
I knew how
running
to game the
game.
system by the time I was 14.
One guy
People aren't
called in.
Stupid.
One guy called in. He was like, "I was a total snitch." He was like, "Made $500 a week though." I was like, fuck off. You were the worst kid at school. I guarantee nobody hung out with you. Like, no
Right.
one. Because after a while, it's factual that it's going to get around. Schools are big, but they're small. So, like, it's going to get around that you're the one who's the leak, you know? And if you're not dead by then, because they've just made your life a living hell, like, either kids can ostracize each other to a level where you don't want to be alive, too. So there's, like, many layers to why I don't think this is a good idea. But apparently, it's, like, public knowledge. Has been going on since before 08 down here. I was like, what? Like, I do not tell my child that for $100, if he tells you something, no, I don't, because I don't want him ever snitching on anybody, because he's gonna get shot. I don't need that. Kids are bringing guns to school for real, and if he tells on that person might have the gun before you do anything about it.
Yep.
Like, shit could really go wrong about this. Like, $100 ain't worth it, kids. But yeah. That is a fucking lot. But we segued so easily. Like, it was effortless. Like, one to the other, to the other, to the other. Boom, ba-da-dum, boom, boom, boom.
We covered a lot of ground today.
You know what it is? It's all of the joy flowing out of your mouth in heart form. Like, she has had a Snapchat filter on for the duration, and she finally settled on one that's multicolored hearts. It's disturbing. She's got 2 for her eyeballs, and the rest just fall out of her mouth randomly. But she's so adorable.
It's whenever I talk.
Yeah, it's
I figured
whenever
that was the way to go.
it's all the good is coming out. But we've got to let you go because like I said, this was an impromptu thing. We just had to get it out. This was a purge. But we love you guys, and you can tip us at paypal.me/tiptheladies, and you can follow us at Legion After Dark on Instagram, and you can find me at Shade Queen 2019. We both have Twitters. We've already told you. Bang back an episode just because I don't feel like repeating that shit. And then other than that, please rate us where you hear us and give us a 5-star rating. We don't care what you write, but we'll read it on air. Enjoy. Have a great day, everybody. This has been Daddy Issues, and we fucking love you guys.
Thank you for joining us on Daddy Issues. If you enjoy the show, rate us wherever you're listening to us. And if you'd like to show your appreciation, you can do so at paypal.me/tiptheladies. If neither of those work for you, share us with a friend. I mean, after all, we're everybody's guilty pleasure. Click, play, obsess.